This is super cute. So this is the sticker or their I can't even talk. Their logo, which is like the dragon. I thought this was so cute. I don't know what this is. Like I know I ordered tea, but so like I got a tea packet to try that. And ooh, some oolong water Sprite, which is Chinese oolong. I've never had Chinese oolong, and the thing I really love about Friday is on their social media they like will go into descriptions of like temperatures and how to best make your tea, and I love it because it's supposed to be like it's a way of living, like it's connected, it's a spiritual thing, tea and drinking tea and making tea. And so I think one of the things that was said that I was like, yes, a lot of times we try to make tea coffee culture and it's not the same thing, and I highly agree with that. And so tea is for sitting, tea is for connection, tea is for so many things. And so I have just really big respect. So I'm so excited. I got Lady of Light. Look, their packaging. Their packaging. Oh my gosh. So Friday afternoon tea, Lady of Light. This is a fandom fave. This I got a fandom flavor. It's inspired by Lord of the Rings, and it gives you the water, the time, and how much caffeine is in it. And then it is white tea, green tea, jasmine flower, tulsi, and chrysanthemum. I remember the book about chrysanthemum. She didn't like her name because she had some bullies at her school, and eventually she realized, say my name right. I love that book. Then I got Grey Wanderer, which is another fandom flavor, and it is based off of, again, the Lord of the Rings. But this is white tea, yarrow flower, cardamom, roasted yaupon holly, black tea, blue cornflower, and pine smoke. Look at the blue. Y'all see that? There's like specks of blue in there. And then the last one. I'm so excited. What was he? Merry Fellow. Again, I got the fandom because I wanted to know. This is also based off of Lord of the Rings. I think there's a common. So when I ordered this, I had literally just said, I want to watch Lord of the Rings again. And then I saw that they had a fandom. And I think subconsciously, I just was like, Lord of the Rings. I'm going to try all them flavors. This is orange peel, fireweed, blue cornflower, green tea, honey granolas, and sunflower petals. Y'all, oh my gosh. Now, this is not sponsored. Let me just say that. I support with my money because I love tea. But these are so, like, that's tea. Like, that's tea. And that's what I really have come to realize, is that if you aren't able to actually see, look at that, if you are not actually able to see the tea, like what herbs are in it, and see that there's like, oh, that's the yarrow, and oh, that's the lemongrass, then like we might want to question the tea we're drinking. Not that it's, you can't drink fast tea. Like, I feel like the tea that I grew up on buying from the grocery store was okay for then, but now we're growing up and we need to see what we're drinking. Like, show me the yarrow though, like really show me the yarrow and how. Anyways, I love that I can see the herbs. Y'all know, if y'all haven't know, I do herbs. I love herbs. I love working with herbs on lots of capacities. And so being able to just sit and like handle herbs that are going into my tea that I am ingesting is so beautiful. So if you are looking for an LGBTQ inclusive, amazing tea company to try out. I highly suggest Friday Afternoon Tea. Go check out their social media. Go check out, they're on YouTube. I'll definitely put all the information, but go check them out because they have such a wide range of flavors. Like they have the fandom, and then they have like seasonal, and then they have, it's just, there was so much to choose from. I didn't know where to begin. So go check them out. And with that being said, let's get into the adult graphic novels that I got. Oh, I've been saying adult. They're not X-rated. That just dawned on me. I'm gonna have to rethink how I title this. Y'all are getting real-time conversations with myself. You can't just be like, oh yeah, you want to see an adult graphic novel, right? Because people are gonna think it's like X-rated. With that being said, we're still gonna go into these graphic novels using a different term. Okay, well, we're gonna think about that. All right, so the first one I love because it is actually a novel, and this is the graphic novel version of it. And so at the time, the novel intimidated me, so I was just like, I'll get the graphic novel. And I will say I love this, like the way it makes you think about things. You go on an adventure with the main character, and he goes through these like different situations in life on this journey. He's going on a journey, right? Yes, like it's not a quest. I would call it a journey specifically. And it's just about life. It is about how we interpret what is ours, what is life, what are the things that are important to us, how we deal with situations. And this shit's deep. Like, it's really deep, and it's called The Alchemist for a reason. There's a reason why it's called The Alchemist. The title will tell you. But I really highly suggest, even if you've read the novel, like you probably would enjoy the graphic novel. But if you haven't read the novel, like get the graphic novel. It is really, really good. And although it's small, it's very like dense. Like it's very dense. They did a really, really, really good job of fitting all the things in here and all of the lessons. And I finished this and I was like, I think everybody in life has to read this. Like, this should be on the everybody needs to read list. I'm not really sure why not. Like, at age 22 to 25, you should read this. Like, you should read this, and then you should read it again once you hit 32, because that also seems to be like a crisis stage. And then probably hit it again at 55. This is so good. Every time I read this, it will probably hit me differently in a different way. And that is a good book. That is something when you can write a book and it can continuously affect people's lives, no matter when this was originally written, what time period you're in, or you can gradually go back and reread it, and different parts of it will hit you differently at different understanding and stages of life. That is a good book. That's a good writer. That is this. So I can understand why, The Alchemist is considered like a must-read novel book, because this is what the graphic novel. So I can only imagine the novel. So yeah, go check out The Alchemist. This is mine personally. It's not the library's, but had my eye on this, and I was feeling in a spooky mood, and my husband had just taken me to the store, and I was like, I gotta get it. And that was Fangs. This is a love story between a vampire and a werewolf, and it is the cutest, most satisfying read. I love that the outside of it is actually like it's velvet. It's not real velvet, it's felt. I don't know what's on the outside, but it's not traditional like book covering. And then it's just beautiful. Like, it's very elegant. I don't know. I just absolutely love the outside of it. Sorry. It smells so good, like a book. Okay, girl. But it is a story about a vampire and a werewolf and them going out and their relationship, and it is really cute to see how their relationship plays out, and it's just really cozy. It's very much a vibe, and I think I'm surprised more people aren't talking about it. I'm surprised I'm not seeing this spoken about a lot more. It's a really cute graphic novel. You need to get your hands on it. If you haven't gotten your hands on it, like, go get it. What are you doing? It's 5 out of 5. Like 5 out of 5. Like 5 out of 5. There are some trigger warnings. It talks about depression. It talks about suicide ideation. But it was really good, and I honestly think I want this to be in my home library. It's called This Is How I Disappear. And it is about a young woman who is a writer, and she's working another job. She's also a writer, and just how she is dealing with loss of a relationship, how she's moving through mourning different things. And it was this, it really it really got me. Like, it really got me thinking how we treat people who have depression, or how we fear of people being on the outside of or around people who deal with suicidal ideation. How depression has an array of ways it shows up in people's lives, and how people can end up feeling like they're under a microscope when they share that they're dealing and struggling with depression, and how sometimes they don't want to be here anymore, and how sometimes that can set a chain reaction of people's responses that actually make the situation worse. And it just made me really think about how I deal with my own and others outside of myself, their mental health, when they confide in me about things, and how showing up the way I think they need me to show up is not necessarily how they need me to show up. And this really put a spotlight on this, and it really brought home, like, damn, that's what it's like dealing with depression. And I understood some parts of it. And so this is definitely an empathy pooling and growth. If you are looking to grow your understanding, this is something you should definitely read, of people struggling with depression. And it's real, it's honest, but it does such a beautiful way of moving through, her being social, and what that looks like for her on good days, and what it looks like for her on bad days. And it's just really, really good. It really hit home, because I do have friends that have dealt with depression and other mental health struggles. And, I just couldn't imagine I can't imagine how difficult it is, but this gives me some insight, and it gives me a way of making sure I'm doing better for them. I move differently for them, and I have those conversations that need to be had with them. I don't know how else more to explain it. Like, I really love this book. I'm thankful for the author of it, Mirion Malle. I don't know if it's Malle or Malle. I don't know if the E is silent, but I'm really thankful for this being out there and around. And if you haven't grabbed it, please grab it. It's a good read. I'm going to get into the books that I have not yet read yet, but they are going to be read. to be read before they get back to the library. Before I get there, I'm going to tell you about this book, and I'm going to tell you about this graphic novel and why it wasn't DNF'd, but it just wasn't my kind of graphic novel. How to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you. I thought that was funny, right? Like, creepy cat funny, right? Remember when I talked about creepy cat in the last video? It's just not my type of funny. It's not my type of humor. It's very crass humor, and that's fine for some people. It's just not for me. So if that's your type of humor, or you like cheesy, works for some things, it didn't work for this for me. I just wasn't a fan. As soon as I closed it, I was glad, and I don't plan on opening it again. But again, that's because my type of humor is different. You might like this. I did not. So I tried it, and that's all I can say. So hopefully your cat's not trying to kill you, but this cat definitely was. It was trying. Okay, I have not read this yet, but this one is called Theives, and it's interesting. I mean, it sounds interesting. It's literally one of the characters wakes up after a night of partying, and she does not know where she's at, and then her crush is actually there and realizes things have been stolen from her, and they get into some mischief, and it sounds like they end up planning something to make things right. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. This is LGBTQ friendly, and it looks interesting. I haven't opened it up. So we're gonna see how I'm gonna like Theives. But if you have read it, let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so this next one, I literally just saw the binding, which is Crushing. It's the name of it, and it was over in the adult reading area, and so I grabbed it, and it just literally says, she's lonely and searching for connection. He's lonely but afraid to reach out, but is finding someone else really the answer to their problems. Crushing is a story told in silence. A story about connections in a big city, making them, missing them, and longing for them. I love stories to be told in silence. There's no talking in this. And I don't know why the art is just, it reminds me of a specific childhood book. I cannot put my finger on it, but there was some nostalgia there for me, and so I grabbed it, and I'm looking forward to reading this story. Just another proof, really quick, I'd like to add that there are some adult books that have no words in it and just pictures. So next time somebody wants to tell you about what is a book and what you should be reading, you can say, well, hi, I follow this girl on YouTube, she recommends books with no words and just pictures, and guess what? They're not in the kids area. So there. Don't let anybody tell you you can't read picture books. Don't let anybody tell you that. Okay, so this next one sounds like a hot mess. It's called Thirsty Mermaids, and I saw the color. I was like, this sounds right up my alley. It sounds like a bunch of mermaids that come on land. They have a good time, have a little bit of a hangover, but then they get into some shenanigans. So I'm going to read the inside to you. It says, fresh out of shipwreck wine, 3 tipsy mermaids, Pearltooth and Ease, hit on an idea of magical masquerading as humans and sneaking onto the land and indulge in much more drinking and a whole lot of fun right in the heart of the local seaside tourist trap. But the good times abruptly end the next morning when, through the haze of killer hangovers, the trio realized they never actually learned how to break the spell. Girl, what? And now are stuck on land for the foreseeable future. Not them forgetting the spell to turn them back into mermaids. I would be so mad. And this book sounds so good. So I'm looking forward to reading it. So those are the current books that I have read from the library or within my own selection that I suggest or not so much suggest, depending on what your tastes are. But let me know if you have read any of these, if you are planning on reading these, or if you have graphic novels that you think I would like based on what I currently have enjoyed thus far or looking forward to read. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully, I have figured out a title at this point in time since this is now up on YouTube. And the title is Chef's Kiss. We will see each other in the next video. Bye, my friend.